Hey guys, LQ here with the LQ Review, and I'm here with my review of Episode 9 of Survivor Season 38, Edge of Extinction. And you know what? After last week's episode with that crazy tribal council, this episode definitely had big shoes to fill, and unfortunately they didn't quite fill those shoes. This was a double elimination episode, so about halfway through the episode we had one tribal council, and at the end of the episode we had another tribal council. And frankly, I do not like double elimination episodes. It just always feels like they're cramming too much into one space. It always feels like they're just basically cramming two episodes into one space and kind of shortchanging the audience on a story that could have been an hour longer, right? Typically, we have one vote off at the end of a hour-long episode, 42 minutes or whatever, and then we have another vote off at the end of a 40-plus minute episode. And we had two vote offs today at the end of a 40-plus minute episode. So we're talking 20 minutes of screen time being dedicated to each vote off. And it just, I don't like those. I know why they do them. You know, I know why they do them. If Survivor has to plan contingencies for injuries, for people quitting, you know, they have to give themselves some wiggle room. And when those things don't happen in a season, then you get your episode where they cram two vote offs into one episode. And it just always feels overstuffed to me. Especially in this case. Because in this case, we had two big vote offs. Our final two returning players who are still in the game got voted off in this episode. And I know. Both of the people that I predicted to win the game are now on Extinction Island. They have both been voted out. They're both on Edge of Extinction. However, they're both still in the game. So conceivably, one of them could potentially still win this game, but now it's looking very unlikely, given the fact that Wentworth got voted out tonight. I'm a big fan of hers. She's a very entertaining player, very fun to watch, and she got blindsided. And she got blindsided with an idol in her pocket. And I hate it when that happens. I hate it when players aren't savvy enough to understand, hey, my neck's on the chopping block. I realize my neck's on the chopping block, and I'd rather walk away having played it and not needing it than having needed it and not played it. So, I don't know. I hate it when that happens, and it happens a lot in Survivor. I just find it hard to believe that there wasn't any red flags going up in her brain saying, hey, everything seems to be running along a little too smooth. Maybe I should think about whether or not I want to stay safe for the next 3 days. So I don't know. I still think that she has a shot at coming back and getting back in, but it's unlikely now, obviously. So the other one to get voted out tonight was David. I haven't been a fan of his gameplay at all. And I thought this vote was a long time coming. But the final two returning players have been voted out. They're all four on the Edge of Extinction now, and it's all new players now who are actually still in the active game. Let's talk about Mad Dog. I'm still not really on board with Mad Dog, but he came to play. And I always love it when players come to play. Even if they're villains, I love it when they come to play. It's the players that just coast along that I don't like. And Mad Dog has come to play. He's making good TV, and he's gonna, he solidified himself now as probably one of the all-stars of this season. He's in more control of this game than I think people wanted to admit until probably now. Now people are probably looking at the game and saying, "Yep, Mad Dog is in control." So it's going to be interesting to see if Mad Dog has painted a huge target on himself with this power move to get rid of Wentworth. It's very possible that he's done that. The person who I am getting behind is Devon's. Initially, I was never really a big fan of his, but to come back from the Edge of Extinction and now to fully integrate himself back into the tribe, He's no longer being looked at as a target. Nobody's looking at him and saying we got to get rid of him because he was at the edge of extinction. For him to fully integrate himself back, and then to become a player that's been savvy enough to keep relationships even when they don't get along, like David. That's been, a very strong gameplay on his part. Such strong gameplay that David still awarded him with an advantage, even though they didn't always see eye to eye. David did award him with an advantage, and he took use. He made full use of that advantage and got back into the game, or won the immunity challenge. So Devin has really been playing a solid game, and I think he's kind of my favorite player right now, who's still in the game. Obviously, I'm not necessarily rooting for Mad Dog, but I'm enjoying Mad Dog's gameplay. I'm enjoying watching him play. So my favorite player right now is either Devin or Lauren. I still like Lauren. She's doing a great job. She has an idol in her pocket. I hope that she plays that idol if her name gets on the chopping block. Because she's fun to watch. She's easy on the eyes, and I think there's a strong strategic player in there who's may just be coming into her own as a Survivor player, and losing Wentworth may be that nudge that she needs to finally come into her own and take control of her game. So Devin, Lauren, big fans of. I'm enjoying watching War Dog play. I was into the whole Victoria game for a while, but she's kind of taken a back seat a little bit. And for some reason, Aurora just really bothers me. And I don't think I'm alone in that. As I read about Survivor online, I think that there's a lot of people that Aurora just kind of rubs them the wrong way. So this episode wasn't as good as the last one, obviously. This was a very overstuffed and just kind of, it's not a filler episode. You can't say it's a filler episode when two of the main characters of the season get voted out, but it just felt like they wanted to get through this episode. You know what? The two main characters are going to get voted out in this episode. Let's get through it so we can finally start telling the story of these new players who are going to be taking control of their games. That's what it kind of felt like to me. And so maybe starting next week, we're going to see a new version of this season start, and I'm optimistic about that. I think that this season could end on a very strong note if we have some strong characters, some of which I've just talked about, who are able to take control of their game and really play this game hard to the end. So not a great episode, but not bad. Just kind of fast forwarded the story a little bit. That's my thoughts on it. What do you think of this episode? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for being here at the LQ Review, where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. And until next time, thanks a lot.